Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Vessalatu vesselamu ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Welcome to our virtual panel sessions, the fifth one on the topic Sincerity in Islam. Alhamdulillah, we are continuing our topic, and let's explore more about sincerity from many different perspectives. We ask Allah with our collective mind and hearts to open the deep meaning of this topic and inshallah implement it in our daily life. So today, inshallah, we are hoping to host Dr. Colin Turner from Durham, UK, and Dr. Hikmet Budak from Arizona, US. And inshallah, our session will have some insightful talks from these panelists and guest speakers. During this 1 hour long session, inshallah, you can ask questions through chat box, or you can unmute yourselves with the permission of the administrators. And well, as usual, inshallah, let's engage together, and we are gonna read from the text first, and we will go back to our panelists to ask their insights, inshallah. And alhamdulillah, Allah is blessing us to be here and together. And we would like to ask, our brothers in Lighthouse for Humanity, the organizing team, for their dedication and content support in making this event, biiznillah, possible. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, where we left last time is as just like a short, refreshment. We went through the first precept, which was the main sentence: you should seek divine pleasure in your deeds. And we also went through partially the second precept, which is not criticizing your brothers in this Quranic service and not provoking the vein of envy by showing off virtues over them. So Ustad was giving a couple of examples, and where we left, inshallah, we can continue to read. Also, as the cogs of a factory do not interfere with each other rivalrously, as they do not outdo and dominate others or see each other's shortcomings and criticize them, thus undermining their enthusiasm for work and pushing them into idleness. Rather, with all their aptitudes, they each help others in directing their motions toward the general objective and walking toward their purposes of creation in a state of true solidarity and agreement. As it will throw the factory into chaos and leave it fruitless without any products if an iota of aggression or domination were to interfere. And so the factory owner will demolish the factory altogether. So as just maybe an initial reminder of what we went through in this factory example, I would like to ask if Colin Hocam or Hikmet Hocam have some initial thoughts about this, or should we continue? Colin Hocam or Hikmet Hocam, about this example, do you have anything to add it?
Colin abi, this week, inshallah, it's your turn, if you don't mind.
Actually, it's your turn this week.
It's always your turn, Colin abi. Go ahead, please.
No, I don't have anything to say at the moment.
I don't have anything either. Right, let's just continue then, if you guys don't mind. Inshallah.
Okay. Now, all the disciples of the Risale-i Nur and the Quran servants, you and we are the organs of such a metaphysical personality that deserves the name perfect human. We are, in effect, like the cogs of a factory that produces eternal bliss in eternal life, and we are workers on a lordly ship that takes the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings upon him, to the safe shores of the land of peace. Surely we are in need of and obligated to obtain solidarity and true union by attaining the secret of sincerity that brings out the metaphysical strength of 1,111 out of 4 individuals. Yes, when 3 alifs do not unite, they have the value of 3. If they unite through the secret of numbers, they acquire the value of 111. 4 fours amount to 16 when they are separate. If they have accord and come together shoulder to shoulder on a line with the secret of brotherhood and the unity of objective and agreement of duty, then they acquire the strength and value of 4,444. And just like that, many historical events testify to the value and metaphysical strength of 16 selfless brothers, exceeding 4,000 with the true secret of sincerity. So I want to ask, what is the secret here? I mean, how Ustad is defining to us. Colin Hocam, can we a little bit elaborate about these 3 alifs or 4 individuals, how we can see the power on them?
I think the power comes from actually admitting that we don't have power and coming together sincerely, because we are ajiz and faqir. We are impotent and we are impoverished. And we know how that is a kind of intercessor, really, for us with Allah. If you think of a baby is ajiz and faqir, it cries, and the mother rushes to its aid. Now, if we do the same kind of thing, we can all experience how Allah answers our du'as when we admit our ajz and faqr. Now, what happens when brothers get together, because of the sacredness of unity, they are in a sense pooling together. They're putting together their individual instances of ajz and faqr, and so you have a collective admission of ajz and faqr. If there is sincerity, you have 4 brothers, each one of them admitting ajz and faqr, and we've witnessed it so many times in history. We witness it also in these circles, because coming to this circle should be with an admission of not knowing and wanting to know. And when you have 20 people in a dars like this, all admitting their ajz and faqr, the results from it, as we've seen over the years, can be astounding. So really, it's a kind of communal admission of our ajz and our faqr. However many there are of us, the more that come together to admit the fact that they are ajiz and faqir, then the greater the results. Because what you're doing, in a sense, is you're abnegating yourself. You're saying, I don't have this, and my brother is saying he doesn't have this, and the other brother is saying we don't have this. And of course, Allah likes our admissions of ajz and faqr, and therefore, when they are multiplied, it becomes like compound interest, if we can use that analogy. It multiplies exponentially, depending on the number of brothers involved. This is why the Muslims were able to spread so quickly and so powerfully in such a short amount of time, within 30, 40, 50 years. They spanned the known world at that time, from China to Spain. So this is no accident, this is no fluke of nature. This is a response to sincere admissions of impotence and poverty. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colin Hocam. Yeah, very great points, like seeing us as ajz and fakr. We don't have a power as you mentioned it. And being shoulder to shoulder on a line, having this unity is quite critical, right? So as you mentioned it, compounding effect when we get together, and with this dars, as you mentioned it, how it is being accumulating over the years, alhamdulillah. So I want to ask also Hikmet Hocam, is there anything we would like to share with us on this?
Just wanted to quickly add something, Colin Abi, and you already explained everything. So that getting together with the sincerity, and if you know that we also read a number of places in the Risale that collective dua, prayer, is something that is just more acceptable instead of, as Colin Abi said, that just one brother or one by myself that just going and making dua. And kulli dua, collective and all together making a dua, becoming and then getting together for the same dawah, same goal, same mission, that is going to be just more acceptable. That's why that I think that strength is coming from sincerity. We already discussed the sincerity, how it is just a powerful, because that we are impotent and then we don't have any power anyways. And this sincerity is going to give us that power, and then also that getting together with the other brothers is going to give us that the collective dua, and becoming together or getting together or gathering with the brothers with the sincerity, that is important. Selfless gathering is for one mission, one goal, to please Allah. That is going to be more acceptable. As we know that in different parts of the Risale, we started already clearly explained that. This is all I wanted to say anyways. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hikmet Hocam, for your addition. And I also would like to, point out that the secret of this secret, I think Ustad says here, in a true and genuine agreement, this the real brotherhoods, concerning, I think, with each other's, let's say, challenges or helping one another, and we can look the eyes of other brothers and hear with, hearing with their ears. Also, I think this is like also one of the key sacred point which Ustad is mentioning. Also, like when Ustad is saying is the truly united men, like 20, and Ustad says 20 eyes, 10 intellects, 20 ears, and with 20 hands. It's like, a shakhs manevi, a collective personality, which gives Allah a lot of strength on it. And when we see it also right now in our time, there's a lot of collective companies or corporation, which is a similar idea, and it has more power when it comes to metaphysical or ukhravi, manevi works also. I want to also read this part again. The secret of this secret is that in a true and genuine agreement, each individual can look with the eyes of other brothers and hear with their ears. It is as though 20 truly united men each have the metaphysical value and strength of looking with 20 eyes, thinking with 10 intellects, hearing with 20 ears, and working with 20 hands. Yes, genuine solidarity and unity with the secret of sincerity occasions unlimited benefits, and it is a most significant shelter and point of reliance against fears, even death. For If that comes, it takes one spirit. Since one has as many spirits as his brothers on the path of divine approval, with the secret of true brotherhood in affairs related to hereafter, if he dies, he meets that happily and saying, "Let my other spirit remain sound and alive." Since those spirits make a metaphysical life continue for me by constantly earning me spiritual rewards, I am not dying anyway, he says. I live with respect to spiritual rewards by means of those spirits and dying only with respect to sins. So he lies in peace. Colin Hocam, do you have anything that you would like to add in this part?
No, I just wanted to correct it. It should be 10 truly united men. If you go back, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I think there is a typo error here. Yeah, when we have 10 truly united men, yes, 20 eyes, 10 intellects, 20 ears, and 20 hands. Yes, very good point. Thank you. Sorry for this typo error. Yeah, I mean, when also we have like someone dies, there's a lot of, let's say, praise and du'as we are making for that person. And if things is being done together, he has a share. It's as if like you are a shareholder of a company, so you get the reward. But since that person, let's say, is not alive right now, that person only with respect to sins, he's not doing any sins, but he gets inshallah a lot of rewards, with the good deeds remaining brothers are doing for that. Yeah, I mean, if any brothers who would like to add to these points, inshallah. Yes, thank you. I'm looking right now the chat box, and Colin Hocam, thank you for correcting that 10 united men. And if we don't have any other comments, inshallah, we can start the third precept.
Could I just say that
Yes.
what Ustad is saying here is that we, in one sense, have to negate ourselves. We have to, in a sense, hide ourselves within the community. Sort of dissolve ourselves into the community, so that we truly, if we're reading from the same page, if we have the same true agreement on a particular issue, there is no difference between any of us. So you can see through your brother's eyes, who sees differently to you, and you get something from that. And he can see through your eyes. This happens all the time in these circles. When people speak and they say things that, everyone comes out with a unique point, or says the same thing but in a unique way, and makes you think. So you truly become a collective personality. And it really does, it really runs counter to the general mindset that we have, in this stage of late modernity or post-modernity, where everything is about the self, everything is about building up the self, shoring up the self, self-esteem, self-love, looking after the self. This myth that we actually do have attributes, that we do have power, that we do have creative autonomy. This 21st flash, and actually the whole ethos of the Risale, is completely counterintuitive to modern humankind. It's something that is virtually not understandable by most people. And this is why the world is in the mess that it is. There is a kind of unity among unbelievers as well. There is a kind of sincerity among unbelievers. Ustad also mentions that. But the sincerity that is needed is the sincerity which is lasting, because the sincerity of unbelievers is always contextual. It's always short-lived. It's always for a particular issue. And as soon as that issue is resolved or that issue is taken forward, then the unity dissipates. But our unity and our sincerity have to be constant. And if you just look at the Muslim world, you will see how necessary this particular 21st flash is. Thanks.
Excellent point. Thank you very much, Colin Hojam. I mean, also, like you said, a very nice word, dissolving. When we have the pool of Kevther, it's like a big pool. This shakhs manevi, the collective personality. So each of us, we have to put our ice cubes, like our ene, our personality, into that water and let it melt. So we should not be able to differentiate from one another, because once it's dissolved in the water, you don't know who did it. And kind of when Ustad is saying here 20 eyes, 10 intellects, 20 ears, it's like a one body. And one body components, as we discussed before, it doesn't compete to each other. It doesn't criticize. There is no rivalry. So for that reason, I think the true united man, meaning like you see what they think or what they see as like 100% synchronization. I think Allah gives that power or that blessings if we can, sincerely follow these rules. Because if something is missing, maybe that power may not be given by Allah. So it's very important, dissolving ourselves within this community, not showing off, not maybe trying to, let's say, criticize, or what Ustad has mentioned, a lot of diseases in this dilemma, inshallah. Thank you. Anything we would like to add, Hikmet Hojam, on this, or
Yeah,
should
I
we?
just wanted to say that to connect that all what we discussed here to last week. Remember that we were discussing about that. Um, Remember that we were discussing that we were saying that we cannot just how we need to approach to how we need to approach to brothers that if they have we have an issues. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So So what I wanted to say is that we remember that the last week that we said the istishara and meshwaret, if we have some issues with the brothers and we can just get together. This is a great istishara and meshwaret. Ustad is clearly explaining that putting 20 minds, hearts, and spirits in one cup, just mixing it, you will have a collective personality and they will all put together just something that is just clear for how we need to approach, how we need to help other brothers as well. Not only to any brothers that are just working with the same mission and goal. And as Colin Avi was saying, is that they have the same goal, but the different mission or different routes. And this is a great explanation and example that putting together 20 brothers' mind into one cup and mixing it and trying to conclude or withdraw that the conclusion as how we need to approach the brothers, what we need to do to reach out to the same goal, same mission, and same vision. And this is a perfect example. I will also just clearly mention that, or just briefly mention that there's an African proverb, which what it says is that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. This is what they say. I mean, and what I wanted to say that is just in order to just explain the things or clearly put together your dawa into others or help other brothers, and in order to go to veins of their our brothers or outsiders as well. You know that Ustad says clearly them and damar in order to get into the them and the Mars, I think that the 20 collective minds and spirits and hearts is or eyes, ears is going to be much more helpful, and as we know, that is going to be much more easier to address the number of issues in social life as well. Not only that the brothers, but if you go outside, let's say working environments, and school environments, and families, and getting together with the brothers and doing the meshwaret, and also these are going to give you all kinds of like spirit that is coming from the Shahsemanevi that is going to be really helpful to how to approach to your families, daughters and sons, and your colleagues in the school or social life. And that's what I wanted to just add a little bit and connect to the last week discussion and questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for summarizing and making the connection with the previous week. What also, strike me here, Ustad says, you and we are the organs of such a metaphysical personality that deserves the name perfect human. So we know that there's no Superman, the Superman is in the movies, but to be a perfect or superhuman right now, it's about collective work together. I mean, they emphasize teamwork together. Even in academia, if someone wants to publish some articles, there is a lot of names on it, contributors. So Ustad is emphasizing that we are the servants of the Quran. We are the students of Risale-i Nur. So if we become like kind of in the servitude, and we need to put ourselves in a humility, as also Colin Hocam mentioned, ajz and fakr, because one example was we are in the divine ship, which try to bring the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the safe shoreline, Dar es Salaam. So the one who is doing a khidmah, the servant, you should work tirelessly. You don't have much time for pleasure a lot, or you should not rest a lot. You cannot just go and rest in one of the fancy luxury area within that. So always, I think Ustad is showing us maybe a weakness and impotence, and this can maybe bring us together. Because if someone says that I have everything I need, I have a nice room to stay, I don't need you, then this collective mind and heart may not come together. So we have to really feel like we are the servant. Colin Hocam, I see your hand is raised. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, this slide that you're on at the moment, I think metaphysical should be collective, first of all. Metaphysical has other connotations, but collective personality suits it better. Also, the point that he's making here is, if you think how the Risale-i Nur was disseminated, under what conditions it was disseminated, through the tyranny of the New Republic, under really, really difficult circumstances for the author and also for his disciples, to spread in such a way over 40, 50, 60 years, to spread to millions of readers. And now, throughout the whole world, people are spread and, new communities are being formed. This is a proof that when people are sincere in their service, amazing things can happen. And I've never known a textual community like this, to grow under such difficult, almost impossible circumstances. You can say, okay, well, this book or that book has been published by this famous, publisher, and lots of people read it. Yeah, but that's very easy. It's easy for someone to publish. But for the Risale to be disseminated under the most stringent and restrictive conditions shows that those who are actually uniting were uniting sincerely. They were all in agreement, and that's how the Risale was able to become disseminated and to be made known. And he's telling his brothers, and his disciples, that in a sense, this makes you, in a sense, like the perfect man.
Thank you very much, Colin Hocam. That metaphysical, we have to maybe use it collective personality, right? As you stated. Thank you. And we have, okay, Brother Ahmed said metaphysical personality is probably supposed to refer to shakhs manevi, but calling it a collective is wrong in my opinion. It's a feature that becomes clear with the following context though. So this is what Brother Ahmed made it as a comment. We can move to the third precept, if we are okay with the second one. The third precept, you must know your entire strength to be in sincerity and truth. Yes, strength lies in truth and sincerity. Even those who are wrong gain strength due to the sincerity and genuineness they show in their wrong cause. Yes, one evidence that strength lies in truth and sincerity is this service of ours. A little sincerity in this service proves this claim and provides evidence for itself. For compared with more than 20 years of our service rendered to the knowledge and religion in my homeland and in Istanbul, more than 100 times that has been rendered here in 7 to 8 years. Whereas I had 100, in fact 1,000 times more helpers in my homeland and in Istanbul than my brothers who work with me here. So I definitively have no doubt that the metaphysical strength that has demonstrated a success exceeding my earlier service by 100 times in my 7 to 8 years of service here, while alone as a stranger without relations, half illiterate, and under the attacks and pressure of unfair officials, but serving with you is due to the sincerity you have. I also confess that with your genuine sincerity, you have saved me to some extent from the ostentation that pampers my lower soul under the veil of glory and honor. Allah willing, you will be enabled to attain complete sincerity and help me attain it too. You know that our Master Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, with his miraculous karama, and Hazrat al-Ghaus al-Azam, Quddus Sirru, may his secret be sanctified, with his wondrous karama related to the unseen, are honoring you due to this secret of sincerity. They offer you consolation in a manner that is protective of you and metaphysically applaud your service. Yes, do not doubt that their attention is due to sincerity. If you knowingly break sincerity, you will receive their slaps. Remember the slaps of compassion in the 10th flush. There is a note here, maybe we can read this one too. In the 10th flush, Nursi and his students narrate how whenever they show laxity in their services, a minor calamity would strike and direct them back to serving with devotion. Nursi calls these minor calamities slaps of compassion, şefkat tokatları. So maybe up to here, we can go back to our beginning of third precept and talk about a little bit, where the strength and how to emphasize the truth and sincerity here. So Colin Hocam or Hikmet Hocam, if you are available, would you like to make some elaboration here?
I think I already gave my opinion on this, actually.
Okay, Hikmet Hocam, anything you would like to add?
Not really, but I just wanted to say just a quick couple of sentences. I mean, we already discussed, but this is what Ustad says, or just what my understanding is clearly, or clearly that my understanding, not everybody's understanding. If you just don't stick with the goal and mission with your dawah, and if you just add some other things, external things, which is like a whole that money, work, or other things that into your heart and into your mission, into your goal, you will definitely get some kind of like slaps. This is what it says. And the other thing that I wanted to say, we are not all alone in this world, even if we are in this world. And Abdul Qadir Geylani Kuddise Ruhu is watching us. Adi Abi watching us. They are in the other world or the other part of the life, but they are still watching us. So that's what I understood. And then if we do something, then maybe last week I also said that, or 2 weeks ago, again, I said that as well. Whenever we do something, we need to always consider and put as our main goal or major goal, and Dawa in Islam is our major goal, and then do whatever we can do for the sake of Allah with sincerity, instead of adding some other things to our goal, external parts, meaning that, let's say, trying to be like nice person to others. And if I remember correctly, Emirda Lehikase as well, Emirda letters 2, that Ustad says that there was one Abi students of the Ustad, and he said he spent 8 years with Ustad, but he confessed that, and he got the 8 months of benefits from the Risale or other things. And then they understood that Amir Dalek is telling us that they understood that he was maybe exposing a lot with the external people as well. And that's what they said, that this might be the reason. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say, is that my understanding is that stick with the goal, major goal, and forget about the integrating or implementing some other goals or agenda, and don't have the hidden agenda for your distributing or damaging the sincerity with your major goal. These are the 2 things that I just wanted to mention. I hope that I was clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hikmet Hocam. Very clear, nice explanation. And one thing it also catch my eyes is the people who are going on the wrong direction, they also have strength due to their sincerity, and they have also genuineness of what they are doing. This is also quite interesting. I mean, there are people in the world right now doing worldly business. They don't contaminate their, let's say, vision or mission, and they sincerely work. And it's not because of their money, it's not because of their, let's say, political things, because the sincerity they show, and they truly like mean what they want to achieve, and Allah give them also power. So if we don't follow it and they follow it, they can actually overrule us, so the truth and sincerity are the true strength. Sometimes maybe we confuse. I mean, we think that the worldly positions or money or fame and all of these things can give us strength. But in reality, this also example which Ustad is saying here, his service. Ustad is in Istanbul, and he has actually a lot of, his friends from his hometown, and he did 20 years, more than 20 years service, and he's comparing the service in Istanbul, the service in the village Barla, 7 to 8 years. So in 7 to 8 years, he did maybe more than 100 times more than what he did in Istanbul. So the secret here is the sincerity, because the Ustad in Barla, he is isolated. I mean, he describes actually his situation, if we look at it, like he's like a stranger alone, and they don't allow any like relatives or friends coming and visiting him. There is an attacks and the pressure from the officials, and he serves with people who are just like a common in the village. And how come he's getting like more than 100 times more value than what he did in Istanbul? Ustad says this is the evidence, what Allah can give, when you do it as sincere work. So this is like one of the confession of the Ustad he actually experienced in his life. And Hazreti Ali, and as you mentioned also, the Gauss-e Azam, may Allah be pleased with all of them, with also the karamas related to unseen, honoring, the servants of Quran due to this secret. So we should not actually, let anything to break this sincerity, because there might be also this shaukat tokat or slaps, which Ustad is mentioning in the 10th flash. They prefer your brothers to yourselves in things that the lower self enjoys, such as honor, stations, attention, and even material benefits. So how do we also understand this one? I think this is one of the features which Allah also praising the Sahabis. How can we prefer like our brothers on the stations, maybe the attention, and even like the material benefits and what it could give us, Can we a little bit touch on this, Colin Hocam?
Yeah, we can do that. You see it in, for example, university, where I was in university for like over 20 years, like 25 years maybe. You see that no one prefers others to themselves. The honor, the stations. You get promoted. You become, senior lecturer, reader. You have letters after your name. There is no sincerity at all in academic life. Actually, there is the opposite of it. There is just backstabbing and, lying and maybe uniting for the wrong reasons, uniting sincerely against a certain member of staff. You see it all there, and you see it also in political life. So in academic life, in political life, you see it in social life, you see it everywhere. This is why, this is so counterintuitive to the modern mind, because consensus reality, the reality that has been structured and created out of the myths that we make, prefers the individual to the collective, unless there is a greater, how can we say, benefit or advantage to be had from a collectivity. So these things that Ostad is saying, these obviously they work. If we put our lower self away and dissolve ourselves, then this is how sincerity is gained. But it's very, very difficult because we live in a world where sincerity is not prized at all. In fact, the opposite, artifice, and superficiality and mediocrity is prized. So it's very difficult, we are a community that really is at odds with the world because the world doesn't move in our direction. So it's most important actually that we listen to these words. When you look at other communities who do it, I'm thinking of the Jews do it very well. The Jews are very united. I'm not just talking about the faithful religious Jews, but I mean the non-religious Jews or the Zionists. They are united in the wrong way, but they are very sincere. And unfortunately, when you look at us as Muslims, and I'm not talking about, the Risale circles, but even in Risale circles, there are problems. When you look at Muslims, we see we are the most disunited community, when in fact it should be the opposite. We should be absolutely united because our deen is deen of Tawheed. wahadiyya and ahadiyya. It's also later Ustad talks about tafani, dissolving yourself in the community. These are all precepts which should, for us, be, in a sense, like our bread and butter, but it's not. We're completely disunited. So this is why we're told to read these treatises every 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Colin Hocam. I just let's read also. There is not much part left, and we can maybe expand it after that. If you want to such metaphysical heroes backing you and have them leading you as your teaching masters, Hazreti Ali and Gaus Azam, attain complete sincerity with the secret of وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَى أَنفُسِهِمْ. They give preference to them over themselves. Quran chapter 59, verse number 9. Prefer your brothers to yourselves in things that the lower self enjoys, such as honor, stations, attention, and even material benefits. Even if it is about conveying a subtle and beautiful truth of faith to a believer in need, which is a most innocent and harmless benefit, to avoid your lower soul becoming self-centered, if possible, find joy in having an unwilling friend to do. If you have a desire like, let me earn a spiritual reward, let me convey this beautiful matter, although there is no sin or harm in this, it may hurt the secret of sincerity you have among you. So I think this might be okay. Going back to this, they give preference to them over themselves, the ayah in the Quran. Hikmet Hocam, would you like to add anything on this last part?
I just wanted to say that, this is what I was going to say. You already read it. And clearly that's just being funny or funny or inhalation with your brothers. And actually that being proud of what they have accomplished and then what they can accomplish and encouraging them and being happy and joyful with their accomplishment and their success. This is what I can say. As Kolinami was saying that in not only university, that I also that they faced a lot of issues with the university and outside as well. This is clear that they can people can get together, even though that the truth is totally different. And in order to damage, they can say everything. So, and with that, I guess that that's I will just repeat again, sticking with your major goals, and with the brothers, that the forgetting about that the shortcomings of their shortcomings, and as well as that some other issues that they have, and trying to cover and complement. That's what I was going to say. Meaning, complementing is just helping them to overcome their shortcomings, and being in that kind of like a group with sincerity and selfless is going to be something that you will have a peace, not internally, but externally as well. That studies always saying that all the tariqat or other Sufism, and they have a different one that they have a different route, saying that becoming a fani for Allah and then becoming fani for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And our tariq, our route, is becoming a fani or inhalation with the brothers, right? And just being proud of what they can accomplish and proud of their success and help them, encourage them. This is what the Shasi Manavi is really important, collective personality, or a metaphysic gathering. That's how you can just define whatever you want to define. Gathering is important, just putting 20 different minds, intellect, and brains, and ears and eyes all together, and doing this istishara and helping each other with the sincerity is going to be really helpful. This is all I can say right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, some in Islamic tradition, they say, oh, you can compete with your brothers when you are doing a khair. Let's say there is something like a service. If someone acts fast or wants to do it by himself, this is allowed. I mean, it's not haram. But Ustad is putting here some condition. I mean, maybe it's triggering kind of a self-centered or individual benefit, right? So this might be kind of who is the one like we are going to prefer. Ustad says, find joy in having an unwilling friend to do. So why is like unwilling friend? Like, is it the case where someone um, who doesn't want to do this and you're just trying to encourage that person to give? How do we understand this phase? Like, find joy in having an unwilling friend to do it.
My understanding was, I will jump in, and I'm sorry, you're done. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please. Yes,
This
I
is
try to
gonna be,
understand.
yeah, this is something that what I was understanding that in the past, and also that I'll share with you guys right now, is if somebody unwilling to do that, when you encourage them to do it, and they are gonna like it, maybe they are gonna be better than anybody else. So that's what I understood. And then instead of just shying away, and brothers could, there might be a lot of reasons, anyways, to not doing that type of thing. But when you, or when the brother, unwilling brother, does that, just a dawah or anything that is going to be really helpful, please Allah, is just gonna be really helpful for himself, for that brother specifically, and that is going to be maybe that better than, more successful than anybody else. And this is what I understood. And I can give you a number of examples that if when you, in the past, and some Sufism, when they were walking and then they see one person looking at the eye one time, and that changed everything for that simple person. And this is something different, but unwilling brother might enjoy more than anybody else, and that is just going to help you as well, letting him do this type of thing. And then this is going to be maybe number one brother that is going to focus and be successful for the mission and goal in Islam. This is all I wanted to say.
Thank you
Can
very
I
much.
just say, can I
Yes,
just say
please.
that's a great point that Hikmat made there. I've seen this actually happen on numerous occasions in different situations at reading camps and on retreats, where there are very promising young brothers who may be a little bit scared to speak up. And I've seen older brothers sit next to them and they know that the younger brother has the answer to a particular question, but is maybe a little bit shy to say it. And they encourage, and that helps. The younger person in whom maybe you see promise, and he may be scared to speak. I mean, it's okay to speak up and say your piece. But if someone else can do it, why not? Why not let them do it? Because it's the same truth. It doesn't matter which mouth it comes from. A truth from any mouth is still a truth. So, I remember at school always wanting to be the first one to give the answers in a class where I could, if it was a subject that I was good at, and never wanting to give answers in a class where the subject was like science or maths or something like that. We have to get rid of that idea now. Whoever can, if you know it and someone else knows it, but they're a bit unwilling, let them say it, because the truth doesn't, change just because it comes from a different pair of lips.
Thank you very much, Colin Hocam. Brother Ahmed also wrote it on the chat box. I would like to read it. It is interesting how great of a master plan this is to introduce exponential growth. That is, if every brother in some way gives another one the opportunity to do something, they may themselves not find the way to. So maybe the last part we might need some explanation, but yeah, this exponential growth. rather than doing yourself, if you let your brother to do it, there will be I think, much bigger chance to spread this and maybe the opportunities. Brother Ahmed, if you are available, maybe you can speak up or, okay, he just
Assalamu
said,
alaikum.
alaikum salam.
Basically, yeah, you brothers all have said the same thing already. I just phrase it a little differently. So I don't really have anything else to add.
Okay, thank you very much. Any brothers who want to add anything, or should we? Okay, it's just about the time actually. We are in the last minutes. If anyone wants to say the final words, Colin Hocam, Hikmet Hocam, or are we done?
I don't have anything to add. Thank you so
Okay,
much, brother.
okay.
Me neither. Thank you.
Thank you very much, inshallah. Then we can finish, inshallah, with dua. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.